Hi, Scorpio. Happy December, late December, and happy the end of 2019. So, also apologies for the lighting. All of my lights are on. I don't know what else to do. It just looks like this. So, but it's fine. You don't need to see things. You just need to hear, just like I told Pisces. So yeah, I'm going to do a remainder of 2019, a small spread for that. And then we're going to dive into the monthly previews of 2020. So I'm going to go month by month and just do a one card preview for each one. But yeah, let's get started on the rest of your December. Now, can you take a big deep breath for me? Oh, wow. Okay. So we have the Four of Cups representing the end of your 2019. And this is clarified by the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups. So I definitely sense an ending here. It's something that you were very emotionally attached to, or you invested a lot of emotional labor into, but it's kind of come to a point where it's no longer satisfying for you, or you no longer want this thing. But I do sense that there is a sense of grief or a sense of loss or regret. So there's something that occurred or something that made you aware that you don't want this anymore, and that not wanting made you sad, because at some point I think you guys really did want this. You have the Eight of Cups here. So this is talking about walking away from something. And while the journey away from these cups is going to be painful because you're losing all of these cups, it is something that's necessary. Because just because we have a lot of cups, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily a good thing, right? Because look, both of these people have cups, but they look so miserable. What's the point of having something just for the sake of having it if you're feeling like this all the time? So I think it's kind of like you're taking a look at what you have, you're cutting your losses, and you're walking away from it. So the last of December is going to just be a final purge for you. So it's really just getting rid of stuff that isn't good for you emotionally. It's the ending of a cycle. But it is a hard ending, which is why I see that there's a lot of kind of stagnation. Like you don't really want to move forward with the ending, but you're going to have to, because it is a lesson that you have to learn. The lesson is letting go, and just not for the sake of, necessarily erasing something or someone from your life, but it's just more so for your own emotional freedom. Because while there are all these cups here and they might be able to hold water and they're gold and shiny, it's just not making you happy. Even though you have a lot of it, it's too heavy. At the bottom of your deck, you have some very interesting cards. You have the Ten of... Oop, it doesn't even want to come up. You have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So again, the ending of a cycle because something was not fulfilling and there was no longevity in it. Underneath that, you have the Tower, an ending. And underneath that, you have the Devil. So kind of, it's saying that whatever is ending needed to happen, or is going to happen very soon. But because there is so much grief already in this reading, I think it's something that has already happened, but you just need to begin to move forward from it, because you're still in the grieving stages, because you just feel so tied to this thing. Okay, well, that was cheerful. Let's move on to January. All right. Don't worry, Scorpios. It's going to be all right. Everything that happens needs to happen for a reason. The Devil was there because it's just, first of all, Capricorn energy. Everything's going into Capricorn. So it's energies that are being rebalanced, because Capricorn is all about the right thing. So if it's not the right thing, or if it's not the right fit, then of course it's going to fall apart. But it's the falling apart part that makes it hard. But even though it needs to happen, right? So we're going to get into the rest of the year. because the energy that's happening now is bleeding into what's going to happen next year and how you move forward. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, Scorpios. I feel like this is going to be a grieving year for you. A lot of you, I think this has to do with a relationship. So if that's the case, then obviously that language applies. If this is about a job or some kind of an investment, it's very similar language, but instead of significant other, replace it with job or career, obviously. But I am going to be like flip-flopping between the two because I am getting, there are people who are single and people who are in relationships in this reading. So we just got to be mindful of everyone. But either way, I see a release of, or it's a journey rather, because everything is a journey and a lesson, right? So it's a journey of you releasing this feeling of codependency, this feeling of needing another body around to feel like you are achieving something or accomplishing some kind of certain backdrop that makes you look better. It's kind of you realizing that you don't need that because you have to find your true self. Now, with that said, in January, we have the Hierophant. So I see this as a continuation of what went down or what is going down, I guess, currently now for you guys in December. But the Hierophant, while it's similar to Capricorn energy, it's a little bit more luxurious in terms of Capricorn. The card was these two people chained to the devil, right? The Hierophant, it's a serious card, but it's not as restrictive, right? Like these two people here are there because they want to be there, not because they're tied to be, or that they are tied to him. So this is a lesson. This is kind of like the lessons learned from Capricorn energy being thrown around because it's Daddy Saturn is a hard lesson to learn. But with the Hierophant here, it's kind of like he's mastered all of his lessons and he's now the teacher. So he's ready to teach other people. So this is you possibly going through whatever you need to go through and being able to come out on the other side, teaching people or telling people about your experiences, and that helps them. So I see that for January. In February, you have the Two of Cups in reverse. So this is, again, I feel like this is a callback to mourning whatever was lost but I think now instead of the actual love, like if you were in a relationship, instead of like mourning the love of your life or whatever, you're mourning like the time and the energy that you gave to that person. So I do sense that it is maybe a little spiteful, but it's part of the grieving process, so I understand. But just be careful that in February you're not throwing yourself out of balance because you're thinking about the past, or you're thinking about how other people treat you unfairly or how you don't receive what you think you deserve. Instead of focusing on those people and those things and the things that you're not getting, try to switch it and think of the things that you were able to gain. Like you were able to regain your freedom because you're no longer tied to this person or this job that was draining you. You now have free time to do the things that you want to do or invest your time in something else. So try to flip it in reverse. LOL. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Just try to flip it into something positive, and that way things won't feel so unfair, and then that way you can attract the things that you really do deserve. Because again, the law of attraction, you have to think positive and do positive. It's not just about thinking positive. You have to do positive and be positive in order to receive. In March, the Ace of Cups, again, the potential for you to receive a lot of blessings is there, but you have to flip your perspective around. So instead of looking at things like you're losing out or people are taking from you, you have to look at the things that you do have and the things that you have, not just externally, but inside you that you can change. So again, it's taking your power back and really taking control of your emotions is what I'm saying, because the Ace of Cups, it's literally like a person holding their emotions, but in reverse, it's kind of like it's out of their control. So you do have the potential to flip it back up, but I do think the springtime is just a mourning period for you guys, because you do hold people and certain situations and things near and dear to your heart. So it takes you a long time to get over it if you do. So again, you have the King of Cups in reverse in April. So this is, again, just a continuation of the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups theme. So coming to your own a little bit more, but still kind of emotionally, not blocked, but you're guarded. That's the word. You're guarded. You're emotionally guarded, which is fine, but you are coming back to your own. You're feeling a little bit better, but you're still a little sad, but that's okay. In, what is this, May, you have the Page of Wands in reverse. So a switching of the elements. You go from the cups to the wands, even though this is a page and it's kind of like descending from the king. This is a different part of you completely. Whereas the King of Cups in reverse, it's your emotional self. You're healing and you're becoming emotionally stronger, even though you're still kind of closed off. That's fine. But this is talking about your creativity and your sense of passion. So as you go and heal your emotional self, your sense of creativity and passion will return slowly. But it is here. It appeared. It's in reverse, but it appeared. It's not all water anymore like it was before, which is good, because you're regaining something else now. It's becoming more versatile. Like your energy is becoming more versatile. And then in June, you have the Magician. And the Magician has all 4 of the elements to his disposal, as you can see. So I think by June, you guys are going to be getting your mojo back. You are able to make decisions based on you and not other people, and really being able to find your own power again and do things for you and only for you, not for other people, not in spite of other people, but this is because this is something that makes you happy and has nothing to do with anyone else. So June is going to be an upswing month. In July, you have the Six of Cups in reverse. So to me, this is probably something to do with family. So something with family might come up in the month of July. Maybe something from the past that you thought wouldn't come up again, or like you wouldn't have to deal with, might be coming back up. This is also talking about be careful of repressing things from your childhood. Like if you haven't healed something that's happened in your childhood, July is going to ask you to come up. Of course, it's always right after something good happens, right? The universe wants to, throw you a curveball and test you to see if you really are grateful for the things. So again, this is recalling back to make sure you are grateful and focusing on the good things, not the negative things. And as long as you do that, in August, you have the Nine of Cups. So whatever you started in June is going to pay off, and it's going to make you feel very emotionally fulfilled. And look, all on your own. Not because of someone else, not in spite of anyone else, but because you did it on your own. And because of your success, I think you have bought yourself some time. Because in September, this is Virgo season, by the way, and also the Virgo card, you have the Hermit. So Virgo season, I think you are going to be really aligned with the universe by then. You are going to be able to look inside and introspect and be able to heal yourself. You can look at all the parts of you that you need to heal, that, you don't really need those defense mechanisms anymore. You don't need to feel the need to control things as much as you once did, because you are now able to control yourself and your emotions, and that's where your true power lies. And the more you realize that, the more you, again, can do things on your own. I do want to mention that the bottom of your deck is the Emperor card. Not the Scorpio card, but it is Aries, and it's Mars ruled. So again, Aries, even though they share, I guess I should say we because I'm an Aries, but Aries and Scorpio share a ruling planet, which is Mars, but Aries does it in a more, I guess, selfish way, where they are okay with drawing boundaries and saying no and doing things that would be deemed as selfish, right? Whereas Scorpio's Mars is more like you might say yes to someone, but you're going to do things that are no oriented because you want to be able to control the situation. So Aries is more direct in how they control things, whereas you guys are a little bit less direct. So this is saying to channel that Aries energy and be able to say no, be able to draw boundaries, and be able to, again, hone in on that individuality a little bit more, so then you can heal yourself and, again, gain control of yourself. That's really what the Emperor is about. In October, you have the Lovers in reverse. So this is talking about, again, maybe something emotional, or not emotional, but like, you know, a romance that doesn't go through. But I don't really feel that like that's a priority. I think this is more of a mindset, because this is the Gemini card. So it speaks about the mind. It also speaks about your third house, which is Capricorn, where everything is kind of gathering right now. So again, this is really about you dropping this mindset of codependency of I need other people behind me, I need other people to do this for me or look a certain way for me to achieve a certain lifestyle or level or whatever it is that you guys want. These are both very cerebral cards. The Hermit and the Lovers, they're both about the mind. So again, this is you switching your mindset, going from a little bit, you know, more emotional mind to a individualized mind, where it's like less about your emotions. Like, of course your emotions are still in play, but you guys are able to use your mind in, again, a more cerebral way that allows you to see yourself in the moment rather than feeling everything around you. It's a very useful tool. And even though it's in reverse, because it's next to the Hermit, it's just you guys kind of like regaining your stability. It's like this is a newly gained skill that you're still honing in on. So it's here, you have it, but it's just you're tweaking it is all. November, you have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So again, it's in reverse, but it's here. So earlier you had the Page of Wands in reverse in, what was it, May? The month of May. So maybe something, a creative project or something that was a passion project or something that inspired you in May really takes off in November. So again, you're ascending from the Page to the Queen, even though it's still in reverse, because again, fire is not your element, right? So it being in reverse, whatever. The fact that it's here is impressive, and the fact that it's ascending is impressive. So don't lose your passion. Make sure that you're staying in touch with your hobbies, with your artistic abilities, and don't let whatever this loss was at the end of 2019 be a loss for you into 2020, because you don't want to carry that in. It is going to be, again, a learning year for you coming up, but the payoff will be good, because in your reading, you do have two aces. You have the Ace of Cups and then you have the Ace of Pentacles. Even though they were both in reverse, again, this is you learning how to receive emotionally, and in turn that will allow you to receive monetarily or financially. But also opportunity-wise. So this could be an opportunity for something, maybe it's a job interview or something. But you do have two aces in your reading, but they're both in reverse. So this is kind of a conditional gift from the universe. You will be able to receive these things if you do the work and if you can channel that Emperor energy of being more independent. And truly independent to the point where you really don't need anyone else, not even anyone else, to witness you being great, if that makes sense, right? Like you don't need an audience. So once you are able to get in tune with that part of yourself where you truly don't need anyone, where you know, I'm not saying you have to be a hermit or to be alone, literally, right? But just understand when you are in need of moments of solitude and taking that and being thankful for it instead of being scared of it. Right? And that's when the blessings will come. The blessings are going to come either way, but it's a matter of you receiving it, right? So I don't want you to think that the blessings aren't going to come because the universe is punishing you. The blessings are coming no matter what. But the point is you either grab them or you don't. And that's where the difference lies, because it's going to be here. But if you don't do the work, then you won't be able to reach out and grab the blessings from the universe. All right. So I am going to draw an oracle card and then we'll be all done. So, message for Scorpio to close out this reading. Inaction is the best action. I know it's dark, so you can't read that. But your current situation is in harmony with the natural course of nature. Note, it says natural course of nature, not harmony in general. Okay, everything is as it should be. Accept this and do nothing. Focus on experiencing and learning. Allow things to unfold. So what this is telling me is allow yourself to learn. Allow yourself to be teachable. The universe is trying to teach you something right now. It might feel like it's taking from you, but it's really teaching you. It's teaching you how to live without. And that is where your truest, greatest freedom lies, is when you learn how to live without. Okay, Scorpio, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your 2019, as challenging as it might be. Know that you are protected and guided by the universe. And again, everything is happening as it should be. All right. I will see you in the new year.